Welcome to Energizer 499. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everybody that we are in the middle of an end-of-the-year fundraiser to raise funds that are very, very much needed now more than ever. Your donation in the mail or online, easy, TucsonTorah.org, would be very helpful and very, very much appreciated. Is there ever a moment when God is not with us? Is there ever a moment when we are alone? In this week's portion, Vayeishev, after Joseph is sold by his brothers, the Torah tells us that he winds up in Egypt as a slave, and he is purchased by Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officers. And Potiphar sees, the Torah says, that Potiphar sees that he is with God. Joseph is with God. And therefore, that everything that Joseph does is blessed. And the Medrash says, wait a second. Potiphar is an idol worshiper, an evil person, actually. How does he know that Joseph is like connected to God? How does he know that? So the Medrash explains that God never left Joseph's lips. He was always praying and always speaking to God. When he came to work for his master, he would whisper a prayer. And he would say, God, please, I trust in you. I know that you are there for me. Please help me to find favor in you. Please help me to find favor in people. And please help me to find favor in my master. Potiphar would see Joseph whispering, and he would say, What's going on here? Are you whispering some kind of curse? And Joseph would say, no, I'm praying to God that I can serve you better. Potiphar was very impressed, and he realized Joseph's connection to God. And because of that, he was able to realize that all of the blessings that came into the house came through Joseph because of his connection to God. We are about to celebrate Hanukkah. Rabbi Moshe Chayim Luzzatto writes so beautifully in his classic work, Derech Hashem, The Way of God, that Jewish holidays, Jewish celebrations are not just remembering events that happened in history, but Jewish holidays recall the specific light, radiance that was brought to the world at the time that specific holiday, that specific event originally occurred. And that very light, the potential for that light to once again emerge, exists, comes back to the world at the time of the observance of that specific holiday each year. And the degree of that light and the degree of that radiance depends very specifically on the internal heart of the individual. So we are about to celebrate Hanukkah. And at Hanukkah, the Greeks, Syrians, what did they try to do? They tried to convince us that God is not here. They tried to convince us that we are divorced from God. came the miracle of the Hanukkah lights, and God showed us loud and clear, I'm here. I am with you. When we light the Hanukkah lights and we say the blessing that you perform miracles for us then and now, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto teaches us that the message of Hanukkah and the message that God is here is something that could become especially part of us, especially at this particular time of the year. Joseph did not stop speaking about God, did not stop speaking to God. Maybe we're not on Joseph's level to say every single second, and Yirtz Hashem, with God's help, this is going to happen. With God's help, this. With God's help. Maybe I can't say it every single second, although maybe I should. But at least let us strive to feel it. Let us strive, especially now at Hanukkah time, to feel God's presence and to realize that there is not one split second in our lives that we are without God. There is not one moment in our lives that God is not holding us by the hand and generating love to us. If we focus on this now, especially during the week of Hanukkah, it can empower us with strength and spiritual connection to God throughout the year. Have a beautiful Shabbos and a joyous Hanukkah.